Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Apocalypse Anthologies. My name is Nick,
And I am Ben.
and this episode we're talking about motherfucking legendary beasts.
Beasts.
So, if you've been listening to the previous episodes, you may be wondering why they don't have intros. It's like the first one has one, and then skip a few, and then you get to this one.
I've been wondering that.
Well, Ben, I can tell you if you just give me a goddamn second. Well, we kind of, got too busy to keep recording these episodes. The spacing between episode 1 and 2 was maybe like 8 months.
I would say more.
Probably more than that, yeah. We're just really busy, didn't have time. I mean, we're both in school and we both work and we got shit going on. But we decided to do it again. But we kind of decided to, well, it was more me. We just decided to record them and keep them to ourselves. But I don't know, I just kind of liked editing them and putting them online. So here we are again. Anyways, Ben, how have you been? What has been going on in your week so far?
Well, I've been good.
You really tried for that one.
I try for that one every time.
Swinging for the fences.
It's my signature joke. Well, working all the dang time, because that's just what I do, I guess.
And I do the complete opposite right now. I'm waiting for the school year to start so I can start tutoring. But I'm unemployed thus far, so I have, no money, and I'm just hanging out all the time.
Well, I work and I'm still a broke-ass bitch, so it's okay.
Have you been playing any video games recently, Ben?
I mean, you know the answer to that, but...
It's for the people, Ben.
Oh, I know. I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've put over 30 hours in the past.
King's coming, all right.
I've put in over 30 hours in the past 4 days.
Yeah, you've definitely been clinging to that game pretty hard. I think you might like it, maybe.
I might have a problem.
Yeah, we've also recently been playing Fallout 76 together, and we started up playing Borderlands 2 again.
Yeah, once.
Yeah, once. We were thinking we were gonna play with Jake again, but I don't know where he is. He's a ghost tonight.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll shut up here so we can get into the stories.
Shut up so we can talk some more.
Hell yeah. Okay, you ready, Ben?
Yes.
Alright, my story for this episode is Attack of Killbot 69.
Oh.
Phasers set to fuck.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's already starting.
It's so hard not to laugh. Alright. I can't even read the first sentence. Okay, hold on. It was... I didn't laugh this hard writing it. It was a dark and cummy night in the toxic forest. You can't laugh like that. In the toxic forest region, though the night was still barely legal and ready to get fucked hard, ET.com.
I have to use that.
I need to calm down a little. I can tell this episode's gonna need a lot of editing. A lone farmer, known around these parts as Filthy Dick Jameson, was ending his day of harvesting nova shrooms in his field and milking his donkelopes. Donkalopes are a fucked up, mutated combination of a donkey and an allanlope. An allanlope is a fucked up combination of an alligator and an antelope. And an antelope is a member of a number of even-toed ungulate species indigenous to various regions in Africa and Eurasia. Donkalopes are an entirely male species and reproduce by budding. The word budding could probably be kind of mixed up with the word nutting if you heard it from a guy with a weird accent, and I think that's probably what happened with Filthy Dick. He made sure to milk the Donkalopes daily. Filthy Dick sat down at his hobbled dinner table made of scavenged street signs for the tabletop and robot skeleton legs as, well, the legs. He was halfway done with his fresh glass of jackalope milk when he started to feel sudden shake in the earth as if the gods themselves ripped some real Hiroshima-level farts right into the air. Earth as hard as possible. Filthy Dick heard his donkalopes escaping their pen, and he beat cheeks outside.
No! You did this on purpose!
Before his feet even hit the outside soil, he heard a sound that would make your heart sink deeper than walking in on your wife getting triple penetrated by 6 different orcs. As he pressed on, he saw the end of his life flash before his eyes. Before him destroying his farm was the legendary robo-beast Killbot 69. This 25-foot, techno-dancing, necromancing, killing and fucking machine tore right through the farm for who fucking knows why. Definitely not me, the man writing this terrible fucking story. Equally as terrible was Filthy Dick Jameson's death. As soon as his bio bullshit was picked up by the Killbot 69, the lyrical chorus of the Eurodance techno song he was playing at 100 decibels came in, sung by him. He sang, "Don't bring that jive, or you won't be alive. No need to be squeamish, it's my robotic penis." and he fired his robocock right through Filthy Dick's face.
Oh shit.
He actually survived the impact and lived for an excruciating 18 more hours, having to listen to that song on repeat as Killbot 69 destroyed everything he ever owned. He died hearing that song in his head and is doomed to spend his afterlife in Mecha Hell forever, since everyone knows that getting killed by a robot sends you straight to Mecha Hell.
Damn.
A few miles away, the sounds of engines could be heard blasting through the wastelands. Heavy-ass abortion metal could be heard through the radiated air, and the smell of gasoline was wafting in like a queef in the night.
Jesus.
Quickly approaching the toxic forest was the gang known around the wastes as 9/11 on wheels. That's right, I'm talking about motherfucking Ragnar 5000 and the Philosophers.
Ooh.
They had just been on the road, traveling the wasteland, on a 40-city pillaging tour with loot in tow and a cavalcade of corpses in their wake. While the Philosophers all had sweet-ass rides, Ragnar's was the sweetest, poggiest, lunar phase of an ass of them all. It had jet boosters, hydraulic jump thingies, and fuzzy dice. Ragnar was known to hit the sick nastiest, most badical, a combo of bad and radical, stunts in all the wastes. While mobbing out with his boys, he was commonly seen doing quadruple front flips, corkscrews, and shit, getting his whole squad nitro boosts. It was rad as fuck. Ragnar loved his car, sometimes physically, and it loved him back, always physically. Alright, homies, check out this sweet jump I'm about to hit. Ragnar's voice buzzed through the Philosopher's sweet radio walkie-talkie system installed in their cars. "I don't know about that, Rags. You haven't let me tune up your ride in a while," chimed in Tecton over the radio. He was Ragnar's chief mechanical engineer. "It's not my fault that every time you ask to tune up my ride, I'm always knuckle deep in the ignition, if you know what I mean." Ragnar replied. Tecton knew what he meant, but wished he didn't. Despite the warning issued to him, nothing was stopping him. He was determined to get fucking amped. Ragnar had led his crew into the craters of Gar, a group of craters located forming a border around the toxic forest. Ragnar picked the dankest ram to hit and trick off of. And oh boy, did he hit the sickest trick ever. So sick, in fact, that it destroyed his entire fucking car. Oh god, oh fuck, this trick is too sick. My car/lover is falling apart. Ragnar screamed over the microphone with the intensity of 1,013-year-olds on Xbox Live. The car literally fell completely apart midair, and the pieces made xylophone sounds as they hit the ground. Ragnar crashed into the ground, adding another crater into the land. He was knocked out instantly. A few hours later, Ragnar came to. He was in the middle of the Philosopher's camp. I can't even read my own stupid fucking word that I came up with. Hey boss, we're glad you're still alive. We found this destroyed farm to camp in. It totally doesn't seem like some cum-drinking farmer just got fucked here. Tectonic explained. He also informed Ragnar that his car was totally fucked and that he would need some pretty serious replacement parts to get up and running again. Well, it looks like we'll need to find some giant robot or something and kill it and scavenge some parts from it, Ragnar stated. As if on cue from the gods above, or from the baby-dicked virgin boy writing this trash,
God damn.
Techno music could be heard blaring through the surrounding area. Stomping followed suit. Finally, the vocal chorus of the techno song rang through the farm. They went, "Bring your guns and hide your wives. I'm here to take your fucking lives." Oh fuck, boys, I know what this is, Ragnar stated, as the philosophers all looked to him. In unison, they all stated, "It's motherfucking Killbot 69. It's motherfucking Killbot 69, boomed the Robo Beast, backed by a real bumpin' gay nightclub beat. "Philosophers, attack Plan Z!" exclaimed Ragnar 5000 to his legendary philosophers. Now, before you ask, Philosopher Attack Plan Z is their only attack plan. It entails shooting their guns and shit at whatever they are fighting and charging head on. The fight was gruesome. Killbot 69 had a shit ton of different defensive and offensive tools. His outer shell was made of a thick fucktanium alloy, along with the regenerative shield. He was equipped with chainsaw arms and laser eyes and all kinds of shit. Two of the philosophers were firing a rocket at Killbot 69, but were shot with its laser eyes before they could get the shot off. Some other philosophers were circling Killbot 69, but they were kicked away by the mechanical beast. "Things are looking grim, boys, but don't give up. Let's make this glorified vibrator into a glorified pocket pussy, if you know what I mean," Ragnar shouted. The philosophers let out a wicked battle cry in approval of his message. "If you don't know what I meant, I was making a metaphor about how we should stop being fucked by this robot, aka the vibrator, and we should start doing the fucking, aka turning it into a pocket pussy," Ragnar very unnecessarily continued. Anyways, the philosophers fought harder and faster. The bullets and weapons used by the philosophers wore away the regenerative shield of Killbot 69 long enough for Ragnar to dive into action. He quickly did an action roll, dodging some laser fire, and popped into a baseball slide to narrowly avoid shrapnel sent up by an explosion.
Oh yeah.
Mid-slide, he grabbed the previously prepared rocket launcher. Without pause, he fired that motherfucker right into the robotic motherfucker. Very descriptive with my words here. The launcher was a PPG, a penetration-propelled grenade launcher.
Damn.
It was super effective and tore right through Killbot 69's fucktanium shield. The missile exploded, destroying Killbot 69 from the inside out. It was metal as fuck. Though a bunch of philosophers had died during the battle, the gang's necromancer was able to bring them back as Mega Skeleboys. If you thought they were sick before, these new Skeleboyified philosophers were like AIDS patients. Tecton was able to salvage the parts from Killbot 69 to repair Ragnar's buggy. The people of the toxic forest were drawn by the sound of the techno music dying out and thanked the philosophers for saving them from the murdering, pillaging robot beast. They were then murdered and pillaged by the philosophers. Finn.
While the night was still barely legal is the single greatest sentence that I have ever heard in my life.
I'm glad you liked it, Ben. I wrote this entire story to make you laugh at it.
That shit, like, I want to use that in real life.
Well, go right ahead. You have my approval.
I don't know where I'm gonna use it, to be honest.
Everywhere.
Like, my mom's gonna be like, "Oh, Ben, it's getting dark. Oh yeah, the night's barely legal, Mom." She'll fucking love it.
Oh, shit. Alright, Ben, are you ready for your story?
I guess so.
Alright, let's hear it.
I always hate going after you because I don't feel like I can follow you up.
You got
Alright.
it, dog.
So my story's called "How Long Do You Think You Could Hold Your Pee If You Had the Ability to Hold Your Pee for an Infinite Amount of Time?"
Knowing me, not very long.
Same. Darren Spigot Dick arrived in the city of London on a dreary blues day morning. Darren was a simple man, thrust into the arms of adventure unwillingly. He earned his name on account of the fact that he had a literal spigot for a penis. It even had a valve for him to turn when he had to pee. He often made it a game for himself to hold his pee as long as possible before the valve started leaking, so it could all come flowing out and hit the ground with enough force to concuss a baby.
Jesus.
Darren didn't have many other interests besides peeing really hard. This must have been why his dad pushed him out of the house, telling him to get off his lazy ass and find a job. The job he found was as a traveling pistrel. It's like a minstrel, except that instead of going around singing songs, he just asked, "Want to see how hard I can pee?" And without waiting for an answer, would just loosen his valve, releasing his yellowish orange urine all over the ground. Darren had a rust problem. Anyways, back to London. You're probably wondering why it was still called London, even though it was the age of Earth 2, future Earth / dead Earth. That's because London was already so shitty during Earth 1 Fun Under the Sun that the Great Shittening was unable to make it any shittier. Surprisingly, it was the only place that survived the Great Shittening, making it the shittiest place on Earth 1 Fun Under the Sun. And that includes places like Northern Virginia, Detroit, and North Korea.
Jesus.
Because of this, London was full of monsters that would kill and eat people that visited. There was an incredibly small population of scavengers that had managed to survive here in London, eating the scraps of dead monsters and hiding in the various buildings and the tube. Nobody really knew anything about London. Everybody that visited had been ripped limb from limb, so word of all the monsters had never reached the world at large. People assumed that it was some kind of utopia because their loved ones never came back, so they probably just decided to live there instead of coming home. Darren strolled into London expecting bright lights and flying cars, a warm welcome from some super hot babes with big fucking titties overflowing with Earl Grey tea. But instead he was greeted with an overcast sky and gray buildings, empty streets and no greeters with big titties. Darren was confused, but he guessed that everybody must be concentrated in the center of the city. There must be a parade or a party today, thought Darren. That's why there's nobody here. Of course, this thought was incredibly stupid. As Darren moved further into the city, he was surprised that there was still nobody around. He heard a quiet creaking sound echoing off empty buildings and streets. Darren followed the sound until he saw an old man sitting in the street rocking back and forth on his chair. Darren hailed the man as he walked to him. "Hello, old man. My name is Darren Spigot Dick, and I'm a traveling pistrel. Would you like to see how hard I can pee?"
Damn it.
The man opened his mouth to speak, but before he could say anything, Darren loosened the valve on his penis and dropped rusty piss all over the ground, splashing his shoes and getting a little bit in his mouth. He was entirely used to this, though. In fact, he rather enjoyed the taste of his own pee, although he wouldn't tell anybody that.
Oh no.
The man's eyes widened excitedly. That was the most amazing thing I have ever seen in all my 44 years of life. My name is Lil Pete, friend. Pleased to meet you. Darren looked at the large man in front of him, puzzled. Why do they call you Lil Pete? I'm guessing it's because you're very tall and it's an ironic, overused joke. Well, you see, Lil Pete started. I have a little Peter. It's about a millimeter. I never get to use it because all the women lose it when they see my tiny wiener. I don't let it get me down, although I don't enjoy the jokes. So listen to the words I speak. There's more to life than dicks, you know. Yeah, I know sometimes it hurts, but my place on earth is not defined by my length or girth. Darren stroked his metallic cock as tears rolled down his face. Ever since he was a boy, people made fun of his spigot dick. How could you ever please a woman or a man with that thing? I don't want to assume your sexuality, bro, but that thing is gross and creepy. They would always chide, but joke's on them. Darren was traveling and making a living with his penis now. Sure, he was still a virgin, but he was holding out hope that one day he would meet a woman with a drangina that he could open up his spigot for. That he could open up his spigot for and then load all of his cum into.
Why is the subject matter of our story so simple?
Darren and Lil Pete hugged each other, both crying. Darren shoved his constantly erect spigot dick into Lil Pete's stomach, but Lil Pete didn't care at this moment. All was well in the world right now. Oh god. Sniff, sniff. Mmm. I smell the smelly smell of salty tears and salty cum. I don't know if I can read this part.
Fucking read it. Do it.
Sniff, sniff. Mmm, yes. A gravelly... A gravelly voice boomed, the sound reverberating through the streets. Footsteps rattled the ground. The two men stepped back from each other and looked at each other, eyes wide. Wow, that's a fucking sentence. Oh god, what's that? Cried Darren. That's the five-headed Hydra. He's new to London, but he's made all the other monsters submit to him, whether they wanted to or not. He doesn't take no for an answer, if you catch my drift, Lil Pete winked. A large lizard's head peered around the corner of a building and looked around. It was dark blue, like the deepest part of the ocean. Sniff, sniff. Yes, I am the five-headed Hydra. I have come to this city because I heard it was a great city of monsters and I wanted to rule it. The monster growled as if it was responding to Lil Pete. Two more heads appeared around the corner. Sniffs. Alright. Sniff, sniff. Oh, we're Oh, this was not nearly as funny when I was writing it.
It's a real game changer when there's like 5 people listening to you.
Sniff, sniff. Oh, we're getting closer, brother. I smell the salty gummies nearby. Thank you, brother, who specializes in smelling semen.
What a useless fucking job. Fuck.
I can't read this fucking story. Alright, I'm gonna start that sentence over. Thank you, brother who specializes in smelling semen. What about you, brother who specializes in smelling tears? Sniff, sniff, brother. Yes, the tears are near as well. Oh, fuck, it's huge. Have to hide, Lil Pete. It still has 2 heads hidden behind the building. Darren's voice wavered. He tightened his knob tighter than it should reasonably go. That's not why it's called the 5-headed Hydra, Lil Pete gulped. The Hydra stepped forward some more and rounded the corner. A giant blue dick with 5 penis heads appeared from behind the building and turned to stare Darren and Lil Pete right in the face. We have to go right fucking now, Darren cried. He started running, but Lil Pete was too slow. Sonny, I'm just an old man. I can't run that fast. Just leave me and get to safety. Look, old man, I can't do that. Not after what we've been through together.
Not after the song.
Darren started to run back to Pete, but he was no match for the Hydra's speed and size. Before he could reach Pete, the Hydra lunged forward and skewered Pete onto its 5-headed cock. Lil Pete's lil gut spread out all over Darren. Entrails lined the street, and Darren was
Jeez.
soaked in blood and viscera.
God damn.
Lil Pete looked at Darren with sorrow in his eyes. Run, my boy, he croaked. Live for both of us. I've lived long enough. It's not like it was a good life, but it was a life, I suppose. No use regretting things now. I welcome the sweet release of death. Mother, is that you? Oh, Sylvia, you're here too. Yes. I will go towards the light, yes. Lil Pete continued on like this for close to 5 minutes. Suddenly, the Hydra's giant dick sucked what was left of Lil Pete's body up inside of it. Yes, sniff. Tears and cum, my favorite. Growled the beast. Darren was frozen in terror. He wanted to run, he wanted to cry, but he couldn't move. The 5-headed Hydra's 5-headed penis shrunk back and fired Lil Pete's mushed up body like a rocket point blank into Darren's chest, sending him flying backwards through the street.
Oh no.
Darren lay on the ground in a pool of blood and guts. He couldn't tell if any of the blood was his own, but he knew his body was fucked. The 5-headed Hydra walked towards Darren slowly. You could tell he was totally savoring the moment. Oh yeah, sniff sniff. Oh, tears I smell, brother. The left head hissed to the middle. So delicious, so delectable. Let me slide him down my gullet, brother. Yes, soon, brother. We will split him 3 ways so we can all have a taste even though we are of the same stomach. Brother, you will eat the head and the tears. And I will eat the middle, as I love guts and shit. And other brother, you will eat the dick, as you are a cum connoisseur, TM. Yes, yes, sniff. Yes, the cum is very ripe indeed. as if it's been sitting for a long time. Finely aged 25-year-old semen, a delicacy. Sniff, yes, The 5-headed Hydra towered over Darren, spilling drool all over him. Darren tried to crawl away, but was unable. As the Hydra raised a claw, ready to slice Darren into 3 even pieces, the ground shook slightly. The 3 Hydra heads all looked into different directions, but saw nothing. They turned back to Darren, ready to slice again. The ground shook violently this time, and suddenly something came crashing down and swatted the Hydra into a building. As the dust cleared, Darren could see what thing was capable of sending a creature that big flying. It was Big Ben. The clock tower was somehow bending as if it had joints, and was not rigid as it had been for centuries. It was attached to a giant animal that looked like a cross between an armadillo and a walrus, with long tusks jutting from its mouth. This was the real Big Ben. It had laid dormant beneath the streets of London for centuries. Big Ben once protected the land of London with its long prehensile dick, but had fallen asleep once its giant penis had become erect and diverted most of the blood flow. That's right, the clock tower was actually a cock tower. Darren used this opportunity to scurry into a nearby building to watch the chaos unfold. As he ran, he loosened his knob, spilling piss all over the street, leaving a stinky trail behind him. The five-headed Hydra struggled to right itself, using its five-headed dick as a support. He glared angrily over at Big Ben. Sniff, sniff, no, I smell no tears or semen on you. Despite the size of your massive dongerino, it seems as though your semens have all dried up. Sniff, sniff. This will not do at all. No, no, no. Sniff, sniff. My meal has been ruined. I will suck you up. Yes.
No.
Big Ben jumped forward and rolled its cock tower around its body like an armadillo's shell, and propelled itself forward like a wheel. Traveling at fucking Mach speed, Big Ben smashed into the five-headed Hydra, sending it flying. Big Ben then jumped into the air and unfurled its large statuesque penis. It whipped its cock down onto the flying Hydra and smashed it into the fucking dirt. Blood and guts and tears and semen and debris and a bunch of other shit flew into the air. London was painted red in an instant. Darren was still cowering inside a building, which conveniently was one of the only buildings left standing in the city. He had yet to stop peeing. A small piss pond had started to form around him. He heard footsteps thundering towards him. He was sure he would be next to feel the wrath of Big Ben. The footsteps stopped, peered into the window at Darren. They stared at each other for what felt like an eternity. In actuality, it was about 20 minutes. Neither blinked the entire time. Finally, Darren couldn't hold his eyes open any longer, and he blinked. When he opened his eyes again, Big Ben was gone. How could a monster that big disappear that quickly without making any noise, you ask? Well, I'm wondering the same thing, honestly. I just tell the stories. 5 years later. The city of London was now thriving. Big Ben was once again the protector of the city and had driven away all the monsters. The people had started to move back to the city. The citizens decided to rename London to Long Dong in honor of Big Ben's Big Ben saving all of their asses.
It makes too much sense.
Darren had wanted to stay, but he knew he had to travel and tell the word of Long Dong. People had to know of what had happened there, of the five-headed Hydra, of Lil Pete, the best friend he'd ever had. He was still on his quest to find that sweet girl with a drangina to marry and settle down with. Have kids with little faucets for dicks or something. And of course there were still people that needed to see how hard he could be. The end.
I think we both read about dicks too much.
As I was writing this, I was like, this story is just a long dick joke.
I really like your old man voice.
Thank
It's
you.
pretty good. Wonderful, wonderful.
Clap, 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 clap.
Good job, Sonny boy.